Hi everyone, welcome to my Julia language tutorial series. When I found about Julia, I thought the language was super cool. It's really fast, and in a glance it looks just like Python to me. Everything was really straightforward to code, but well, that's not always the case, and there are tweaks that you need to know if you really want to learn how to program in a language. Hopefully this series will be all about that, the know-how of Julia and how to code correctly. So Julia has really grown community, and the packages and their documentation and GitHubs are excellent, and the JuliaCon videos are truly awesome. But for me, I found that there aren't many hands-on tutorials, and that's kind of what I like. Mainly my inspiration comes from the Sandex channel, which I love and I frequently use for my Python coding. I wanted to do and also create something of my own and share something to others. I know that Julia had its reputation of inconsistency, and it was mainly prior to version 1.x. I think it mainly comes from the rapid growth of the language. Now we're in Julia 1.4, and the things are more stable. This is what we'll use in this tutorial. I'm trying to break down Julia for its main features, and I think the first one is it's a dynamic language. It means that you can work interactively. That's called the REPL in Julia. It's the read, eval, print, and loop. It's really nice for developing and changing your code interactively and checking what happens during so. The just-in-time compilation, the JIT compilation, which means Julia actually compiles everything it reads. For example, if you define a function in the REPL, it will compile it, and so the next call will be a lot faster. So it's really nice in Julia. The multi-dispatch is a way of defining Julia functions. It's not a mandatory, but if you define a function with the specific argument, so it helps the compiler to allocate the memory better, and thus helps a lot in speed. The last thing for Julia is it's not an object-oriented language. In my perspective, it comes coupled with the multi-dispatch paradigm, which means you should define a specific method or dispatch of the function for different types, rather than implementing the functions in the object. As I said, I think the best way to learn is simply rolling out your sleeves and start coding. I encourage you all to follow along the examples, and if you need, just take the snippets, use it in your own code, but just code. I will upload the text version of these videos to GitHub, so you can also use those. The project I thought about for starting with is a simple image puzzle game, where you get an image, you scramble it, and you try to work your way around and completing it. Meaning, you take an image, you cut it into tiles, and you take each of the tiles and scramble it in the image. The player then needs to swap the tiles to get a properly or arranged image. Sounds pretty simple, right? I think this will give us a good base for exploring the language and the important packages. Okay, so I think we can start. Let's download Julia. I'll go to the julialang.org site and hit the download tabs. I'm using this Linux 64. I'm using Ubuntu 18.04, which I think now supports apt-get for Julia, but I'm not sure which version will it download. As you can see, I'm downloading 1.4.2, and I think this way is a bit better to know exactly what you are downloading. For any Windows users, so just download the exe file and follow the instructions. You can find them here and in the description. Okay, I think the download has completed. Let's open the downloads in my computer, and we'll extract the Julia file. Yeah. Okay, so we're extracting the Julia file, and now we can copy the Julia directory, Julia 1.4, and I want to copy it to opt. Yeah. Of course, sudo. Okay, now it worked. So we copied the Julia to opt directory. Yeah. So we've created a soft link for the binary for Julia under the user local bin, and we can fire up Julia as so. So this is the Julia REPL. The REPL is simply where you can write code. I'll mainly use the REPL, but if you can, I encourage you to use Juno. It's an Atom-based editor, which is slightly more nice. It's an IDE. Okay, so the Julia REPL has like two main functions. This is the where you print Julia code. You can write arithmetics or print line. And the final thing is there are some different modes for the Julia. You can see it here slightly. So you can write a question mark, a square bracket, or a semicolon. The question mark is to go to help mode, the square bracket is the package mode, and the semicolon is the shell mode. The prompt changes as you change the modes. For the package mode, I'll just say that packages are part of the Julia ecosystem, and it actually comes with a built-in package manager, which called PKG. The package manager also supports the creating of an environment. First of all, we'll go to a directory we created before for this project, which called Julia puzzle game. And we can just change to this directory, and now we can go to the package mode and activate an environment. Environment encapsulates all of our packages and dependencies, and it encapsulated them here. You can check the status of the environment, and you can see that's an empty environment right now. The environment name is called as its directory name, and now we can actually add some packages that we will use. So images, image view, test images, and image magic. Yeah. So while Julia is checking its repositories and updating them, and then it will download all those packages, I'll just say something about those packages. Images is the base images that we will use. It actually is a wrapper for all sorts of packages. Image view is for viewing. Test images is a sort of bank of images that you can use, and image magic is an image IO to load, save, etc. Please comment below. Let me know what you think of the video. It will help me make my content even better for you. Hope you enjoyed it. Next time, after the download will finish, we'll go through those basic implementation in those packages.